All right, we'll just hop right into it. Our first question for you tonight: what's your process for writing lyrics?
Oh, it's actually really random, and it could differ for every single song. I mean, the best success that we've had, with like singles and our hits have been coming up with a concept first. Like Weak, our last song, we came up with the idea of I'm weak and what's wrong with that first, and we're like, okay, let's just write a song around that, and then we basically kind of put everything else in. So that's where I think the most relatable ideas have come from. But it could be anything from that to coming up with a funny word, and like let's write a song about that. So it's super random.
And can you walk us through the rest of your song creating process?
Yeah, I mean, let's say we start with the concept. So basically we'll write the lyrics, and then I'm guessing we'll probably write the song first before we even start on production, because we found that it's a little counterintuitive. You want to put all your focus into one thing to make it as great as possible. Then when it starts in production time, it's like, I guess our mindset is let's try to make each song as distinguished and unique as possible. Try to put sounds in that no one has really heard before. So I guess we'll start laying down a beat, and Ryan will go on YouTube and search up a really weird sample and reverse it and cut it up and maybe put that as sort of the baseline.
Yeah.
And try to start with something like, oh, okay, cool. I haven't really heard this on the blank album or this person's album, and then we'll start really just trying to get creative from there.
Okay, next question. Out of the songs you have released or are upcoming, which are your personal favorites?
I feel like we all have different ones. I think for me, probably Karma, because it's one that Jack really kind of spearheaded, and it's very honest to him. I think we did a good job kind of making an adventure of a song.
Yeah, I think Dear Winter for me, just as Ryan wrote that one, and it's super heartfelt and a really unique, kind of love song. So he did a great job.
I would say Don't Throw Out My Legos. It means a lot to me because there's so many real experiences and nostalgia baked into it.
Awesome. Do you guys have any favorite artists or songs, all time and current?
Ooh. Our all-time favorite band, or at least for me, I think we have different ones. The band Fountains of Wayne is probably my favorite band ever. They're the ones who did Stacy's Mom, and that song is on an album called Welcome Interstate Managers, which is like one of the most unique albums. We take a ton of inspiration from it. So we love them. And then currently, there's a lot of cool music out, and it's super random because of like TikTok now, which is sort of the main like source of music. I feel like more so it's just kind of individual songs that are thrown at you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's not like one artist that kind of gets into it. But I mean, like Dominique Fike, I say, is really great. I love that album so much. Honestly, it's hard, right? Because of TikTok, it's like I like this song, but I don't like this song.
Yeah, I like 15 seconds of this song.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. People are getting creative.
What do you do when you're suffering from creative burnout, and how do you get new ideas flowing?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Writer's block is a very real thing, especially, I think every single album process, we've gone through the exact same thing where we start off the album really inspired. Okay, we know we have a vision for this album, and we're, kind of spurting out really creative ideas. And then at a certain point, we always get to a point where it's like every drum sound we find feels uninspired. We feel like we're copying ourselves. And at that point, we just like kind of get uninspired to write at all. So that has happened on every album, and we actually went through it with this album a few months ago. The best thing we found, what have we found? I think really go outside what you're used to doing. Like say, why not make a song where, make our version of a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song, or make a song that would fit in a weird Wes Anderson movie. Like do something that we've never done before and try to call it an AJR song and see what happens. Because then that kind of opens up the doors and opens up your vision of, oh, this could be an AJR song.
Awesome. Stepping outside the box.
You gotta.
When did you unofficially start AJR?
Officially was 2005, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was kind of officially because it's not like in 2005 we kind of got together and in our living room was like, oh, maybe we can be a band. We actually kind of decided it, and then right after kind of took steps. We went out and started street performing basically instantly on the street in New York City, and I was like 7 or 8 years old. and we made enough money to buy, a Pro Tool setup and all this equipment. So I guess we could say, we kind of professionally started, or actually grinded from 2005 till now.
Awesome. And what's it like being bandmates, but also brothers?
It's all right. It's not a question that I can answer for everyone, because some people have not so good relationships with their siblings. Like Oasis, obviously they have their problems. Like Kings of Leon have problems too. But for us, it's worked out okay. And I think that the proof is in that we've been doing it such a long time. We were super close when we were young. Our parents made it that way. We shared a really small room in Manhattan, and I think that now kind of going out on the road just feels like a continuation of that, honestly. It feels like, oh, we're in our room hanging out and playing music together, but now in front of this many people, So, yeah.
Okay. What's the most memorable collaboration you've had?
Ooh, I'd say the one with Rivers Cuomo we did for our song "Sober Up," and that was really great because he kind of initiated the friendship, and by following us on Twitter, and he said that he liked our song "Weak," and we're huge Weezer fans. We've been for such a long time, and so we said we were kind of like freaking out. So we said, "Hey, do you want to do a song together?" And he immediately said yes. So we sent him "Sober Up," and he jumped right on it. And he's just probably the most genius writer we've met in the whole industry. So we just got to learn a lot from him.
All right, and this one's an audience question for you, Jack. You have probably been asked this so many times, but what's the story behind the hat, and do you get too warm wearing it on stage?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Well, the story behind it is really kind of nothing. It was 7 years ago. I've been wearing it 7 years now, I think. And we were opening for some artists in St. Louis, and it was freezing in the venue. I think the heater was broken, and this is actually my mom's hat originally. So I threw it on because I had it. And I went out on stage. I said, "Why not? It's cold in here." And I think the fans freaked out. They were like screaming, "Oh my God," because they had never really seen that. I don't know, that they weren't expecting it. So I said, "This is my thing now," and it kind of just has to stay. And it's funny, the heat aspect. At first I had to wear it for like the first 2 songs, and then I took it off. And funny enough, like my body kind of trained itself to deal with it. So now I won't take it off at all during the show. I'm not sure. I didn't know that the body could do that, but apparently it works.
Do you have a timeline for the new album?
Not really. I mean, we do technically, but not to share in public because we got to keep those things mysterious. But yeah, we just announced that there's sort of the new era of AJR today, actually, or yesterday we posted something about it. So that there will be, for anyone, any fans out there, there will be an announcement very soon of new music and stuff going on with us. So you have that to look forward to.
You have a really powerful splash page on your website. Can you talk a little bit more about your advocacy for marginalized groups and the importance of making voices heard through voting?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're lucky enough that we have this kind of platform. And I feel like if you have this kind of platform, you're doing the wrong thing if you're not using it for good, and if you're not trying to leave the world a better place than how you found it. And I think that kind of platform exists for everybody on a kind of micro level among their friend groups, but we have such a big platform. And honestly, we talk about a lot of political stuff in our music too, because it's hard to ignore it. We're living in a world where we're bombarded all the time with politics and with the things that are wrong with the world. And so for us to put on blinders and pretend that we don't see it, it's just us in the music, feels a little ignorant. It feels a little not honest. And so we try to talk about it a lot in the music, and then outside the music too. It's like, this is our chance. This is our chance where we're in some kind of spotlight. Let's make the world a little bit of a better place.
Okay, now getting to our audience questions. Will you guys ever collab with Fortnite, because they do multiple concerts with artists?
We'd love to. I mean, the artists that have done it are so big. I think Travis Scott just did his recently. Yeah, we're not really big gamers. I played Fortnite a couple of times, and I'm absolutely horrible at it. But I'd be happy to be cartoonized in that world, right? That would be awesome.
I'd like to do a collab with like Wii Tennis or something, like something we're actually good at.
Those are the games we like, the really outdated, games that no one plays anymore.
How do you feel about people using your songs on TikToks for POVs or funny bits?
I mean, we love it. It's like asking, how do you feel about people making your songs more popular? Everyone use them as much as possible. It's kind of like people saying, like, people complaining about using phones at concerts. I've never really understood that. I mean, like, we could not be more for, take out the phone and film the show, put it on Instagram. We want people to see it. So it's awesome. Whatever thing is big, we'd love to be a part of.
The new teasers are slightly sinister. Does this mean that the next album will deal with the darker themes? And these figures certainly feel like a departure from the cartoons and puppets.
I think, the album, I wouldn't say darker. It's a little more extreme of an album. Like the lows are a little lower, the highs are a little bit like happier and more jovial. I don't know. I think it just feels like a next step, and I think it will make a lot of sense when people hear the album.
Do you guys think you're going to get Funko Pops?
What is that?
We
Are you
have
guys getting Funko Pops?
Oh, wait, don't we have those? Yeah, I didn't know what that was for a second. I think we actually do have. Oh yeah. You like that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It even has the hat.
Nice. Yeah.
Why did you choose AJR besides your names?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is another simple one. It was we had every like variation of the words of the letters AJ and R, and we had Adam, Jack, and Ryan, and Ryan, Adam, Jack. As many things as we could think of. And I think AJR was just simply alphabetical, and it flowed off the tongue, just the best.
Do you guys still plan to release My Play, or did you scrap it and replace it with another song?
We have some real fans out there. Oh my goodness.
We definitely will release.
We will release that song. I'm not sure where we mentioned that song. We must have mentioned it at some point.
Some Instagram
someone hung on to that. Yeah. That song will come out.
Last question. Will there be a song about Adam?
About Adam? That's pretty good.
such a weird.
That is a weird question. I don't know. I feel like now you've put the the seed in our mind, and we have to start.
A lot of people are saying. I think they're saying sung by.
Oh, sung by Adam. Gotcha. No, probably
No.
not.
I think we'd sooner do a song about Adam, sung by Adam.
I'm very uninterested in singing this.
All right. Thank you guys so much. That's going to be all the time we have.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
guys.
us, guys.
We appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a good night, everyone.
You too.